Good morning. It's such a beautiful day today, and we've been getting freezing temperatures at night, but surprisingly not everything is going to sleep. The days are still warm and beautiful, most of them anyways. I have turned off my drip system, but I can still manually use the drip, which I do in my main garden. But here in the veggie garden, since there are whole rows of plants that have died off from the frost, I've decided to just hand water these. So I'm going to each individual plant and giving them some water. I went to town and found a really good deal on mulch. What? It's $2 a bag for 2 cubic feet. Yes, I got 16 bags. That should finish off my garden. So now that we're back, we're gonna go ahead and unload the mulch and put it in a pile. I'm gonna go ahead and amend my last few garden beds. That way they'll be ready to be planted next season. So I'm gonna grab probably 4 of these bags. And this far bed over here is one that needs amending. I'm gonna go ahead and put the bags over here. This one might actually take 5, which is okay. I bought 16 bags since it was only $2 a piece. And we'll be going to town one last time. Ooh. So I'll probably buy more. Last one. Okay. Oh, these bags are heavy. I actually need to scoot these over because I need to rake up some of this mulch. Okay. Oh, it might take 6 bags. I'm gonna pull up these lines so I can rake up the mulch. I did not turn on these lines this season just because I let this garden bed sleep. But it won't be sleeping next season. Oh. Not only do I have to rake, but I have to weed. There is grass growing in here. Don't want that. Okay, so I'm gonna get to raking and weeding, then laying down the mulch in this garden bed. I'm excited for next season. Not sure what I'm gonna plant in here yet. All right, all done. Time to water it in. All right, that's it. The reason why I wanted to get this down before winter, that way the snow and everything would settle, and also any rain that we get in the springtime, but that's usually doubtful. Most of it is in the winter. If we get anything in the winter, hopefully it's a wet season this year. One thing I've noticed about those inexpensive bags that it doesn't seem like the manure is broke down all the way. So this will give that a chance to break down. It should be nice and rich the next time I decide to plant in it in the spring. So I have 10 bags left. And like I said, I'm going to go pick up more of these since they're only $2 a piece. I mean, come on, for 2 cubic feet, this is usually 12 to 18 or more. This is the other bed that I want to work on. And I might dig this up and put a secondary bed in here, but leave a little walkway through here because the entrance is right there and there's going to be a path, but I definitely have to dig something up. But this one has already been tilled. I don't think I'm going to do the same with the other side. We'll just see how it goes. And this one I think I'll wrap around this way. Eventually, this juniper is going to be either thinned out or gone. What I really want to do is do 2 or 3 large fruit trees here to replace this, and that way it'll still give it some shade. But the plants that I planted over there don't really need the shade, especially in the morning. It shades it out in the morning. It does give it some protection against the cold weather. So totally removing this would let more light in, and I think the plants on this side would do better. It does cause a lot of shade. Not to mention, if you know anything about junipers, trees in general, they take up a lot of moisture. And if I have a tree in here that's going to take up a lot of moisture, I'd rather it be a fruit tree, something that produces food that I can eat. These junipers do produce berries, and people do use them. But I have so many junipers on my property. So this being replaced with some fruit trees would not be a bad thing. I could even do an espalier of some fruits here. I think that would be a neat idea. So that way I could keep it size controlled and it would never get too tall. Okay, let's get to amending this bed. I've got to do the same as the other. Grab my supplies. I'll need that. My scissors. All right. I'll put y'all here and that there. All right, I believe I'm done for now. Got that bed. And over here, I thinned this out pretty good. And next season, I believe I'm just going to take the whole thing out and do, as I said, replace it with fruit trees. I'm thinking only 2 can go in here. That way, the edge of the bed will still be plantable. And I ran out of soil, but I got all this done and this done. I like the path. It's not as straight as the other ones. It's more meandering, which is cool. And I've got to continue on from here. Like I said, I'm going to go to town and grab some more bags since they're on sale. Go ahead and get this done before I leave. I think these are my favorite garden beds so far. I just like the shape of them and how they look more natural. Even the path is more natural. Oh, I don't know if I mentioned it, but the path does go all the way around, so it's a U-shaped garden bed. A pretty big one. But like I said, if I plant trees in the middle, I can still plant on each side. I've been thinking about what I want to plant in here. Like I said, I hadn't made up my mind. But since I have the grapevines, 2 of them here, I might just add another one there. And I think I want to do an arbor kind of cattle panel, those right there, that arches over here and then just comes straight down. That way it gives a shaded walkway. And on this side, the path is kind of small, so I don't think I'm going to plant grapes over here. 3 grapevines should be plenty of grapes, but it's going to have to be something that's narrow. So I might take these up here and leave these ones here for support for the trellises. But yeah, I can't believe I went through 16 bags. Actually, I can. Even though it's 2 cubic feet, it doesn't go that far because you need to put it pretty thick above the native soil. And then it'll break down and enrich the native soil, make it well draining. And plants will start to grow like they do over here, get big and huge. I definitely need to plant more of this rhubarb. But yeah, this bed here is on 3 years of amended soil. So next year will be its 4th year. I think I'm going to keep this bed annual because it's set up for it. And I could do my tomatoes over here along with other annuals. But I'm still stumped at what I want to plant over here. But I'm going to go ahead and clean up my mess, grab all the bags and all my garden tools and put them up. I never did get to cleaning and reorganizing the garden shed. I guess I'll leave that for next season. In the next video, I'm going to get those planted. I definitely want to do that. I just have a few plants left, and most of them are just little seedlings. So we'll see how they do if I put them in the ground. It's getting kind of late, but I'd rather them be in the ground than left in a 4-inch pot. We just installed this wall here as a wind block for this area. And next season, I'm going to extend the roof, but that's going to be on my other channel. I still need to put up some furniture. And I want to put a pathway through here. I want to kind of put a little arch, trim it back a little bit, and put a walkway so people don't have to walk through here. They can cut around the back side of it, but I have a lot of rocks that I have to move, so I'll do that in the next video with the plantings. Hopefully I can get to this, and that should probably be it for my gardening here at home. If I put out any more videos, it'll be tour videos of gardens that I go to. The season is coming to an end, and things are getting cold, so why did that cut on? Well, that's weird. I don't think anything's on. I'll have to check the faucets and make sure nothing's on. Oh, I still gotta water that garden bed. Anyways, I want to thank y'all for hanging out with me during this video, And if you want to check out more videos, they'll be right over here. If you haven't subscribed already, you can do so there. See you next time. Bye.